Alright, so this is going to be the second and final example. First things first, when we look at this, we're like, oh, there are numbery bits on both sides. We need to get this into quadratic general form. Okay, so one side has to equal 0. I'm going to subtract 8x, I'm going to add 8x to both sides. So we say 0 is less than or equal to negative 3x squared minus 1 plus 8x. I want to expand this out a little bit more. 0 is less than or equal to negative 3x squared plus 3 plus 8x. I want to get this into a factorable form, so I'm just going to switch these two things. That's all I'm doing. It just makes it easier for me to understand what's going on, and easier for me to factor. Nicer setup. Negative 3x squared plus 8x plus 3. Two numbers that multiply out to negative 9 and add up to 8. I think we know where this is going. Negative 3x squared plus 9x minus x plus 3. 0 is less than or equal to negative 3x, and then I pull out x minus 3 minus x minus 3. So now I can figure out what my critical points are. Negative 3x minus 1, x minus 3. So my two critical points stem from these two guys. That's where these two guys equal 0. Now, this is going to be negative 3x minus 1 equals 0. Negative 3x equals 1. X equals negative 1/3. We have a theme here. Here it's a little bit more simple. X equals 3. So we have two critical points. Question, this is where we pause. Are we, if we're expressing it on a number line, the solution on a number line, are we going to include or not include? Is it going to be a filled in dot or an open dot? Well, since it's greater than or equal to, it will, this solution will consider, will take the endpoints as, or the critical points as part of the solution. So when I set up my number line here to do my test points, I'm going to say 3 and negative 1/3. You bet your bottom dollar I'm going to have those suckers filled in. So now, remember from the last question, I want to choose test points that are in each of these three sections. So that, and plunk it in, or substitute it into this, which one's going to be easiest? It's probably going to be easiest to put it in this right here. Okay, in this part here. In the last one that I did, I substituted them up here. But guys, this right here is going to be fine too. So if I choose point 0, I'm finding it right here. It is, I'm going to substitute here, negative 3 times 0 minus 1. This is going to be 0 minus 3. This is going to be negative 1, so negative times a negative. The overall point is positive. So the overall sign is positive. I'm going to put it here. Now you'll notice that I gave two different ways to solve for these equations, either substituting here or using the zeros, and then just not even finding a value, just seeing whether it's positive or negative. Whatever you feel more comfortable doing, I'm fine with. Now I'm going to pick a point outside here, let's say something like, I don't know, 5. So I'm going to say negative 3 times 5, so wherever I'm seeing an x, I'm plunking in 5. Minus 1, 5 minus 3. This one is going to be negative 15 minus 1. Well, that's certainly going to be negative. 3 minus 5 is positive, so the overall sign at 5 is going to be negative. So I'm going to put a negative here. This guy right here, I'm going to choose negative 1. So negative 3 times negative 1 minus 1. Negative 1 minus 3. Again, I'm just from here, I'm plunking in for my x values. Okay. This guy right here is going to be positive. Positive 3 minus 1 is 2, which is positive. Minus 1 minus 3 is negative. So then the overall sign here is going to be negative. The question you smarty pants are probably asking is, do I need to check every single one? And yes, you actually do. Sometimes this is going to be positive, positive, negative, or it doesn't switch nicely. It's not guaranteed that it's going to switch nicely, so you have to test all points here. So then if I were to say my solution, I'm seeing where this is, this is greater than 0. It's actually really nice. It's just between these 2 points here. So I say x is in between, and remember I'm using the equal, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to signs, just because that I want to be consistent with the question. Negative 1/3 and 3. Don't forget x is an element of the reals. It can be anything. Again, if I were to do a quick sketch of this, let's see why this makes sense. I know it's going to be opening downward, and I'm going to have my zeros at x at negative 1/3 and at 3, and I know that it's opening upwards because it's opening downwards because the a is negative. So I know that it's going to be positive between negative 1/3 and 3. That's it.